Very good morning, student. This is our first practical through online mode. I hope you all are aware about pharmaceutical organic chemistry second practical syllabus and nature of exams, etc. Today we will discuss the some safety rules regarding the laboratory, regarding your personal precautions or any chemical safety rules. Okay. Then first we will see the personal protection safety rules. What are the different personal protection safety rules? Personal protection safety rules means what? Personal protection safety rules means you will be working in the laboratory. That time you should be take care of yourself while exposing with your chemicals and instruments. So what are the different personal protection safety rules? First is what? When working with equipment, hazardous material, glassware, heat or chemicals, always wear face shield or safety glasses. This is our first rule. Means if you are working with any equipment, any hazardous chemicals like benzene is what? Carcinogenic. So if it comes in contact with your skin or eyes, what will happen? It will dangerous to your skin and your health also. Second is when handling any toxic or hazardous agent, always wear the appropriate gloves. Means you should wear the gloves at the time of performing the practicals. Okay. Second is when performing laboratory experiments, you should always wear a smock or lab coat. Means I think this is compulsory for you. You should wear the apron. Okay. Then what is the next rule? Before leaving the lab or eating, always wash your hands. Mean in practical hours, you are performing different experiment, you are handling chemicals, you are handling apparatus instruments. So at the living of laboratory should properly clean your hands. Okay. Then after perform when using lab equipment and chemicals, be sure to keep your hands away from your body, mouth, eyes and face. Means during operation of any instrument or you are performing any experiment, that time what happen? Your hands or hands, it will become in contact with any chemicals. If you are touching that hands with your eyes or any part of the body, what will happen? uh, this this chemicals get infected, contacted with that chemical, so it will be dangerous for your health or skin. Okay. So you don't touch your hands to any part of your body like eyes and face, etc. Okay. What is the next? Next is the chemical safety rules. Then which are the different chemical safety rules? What should be precautions to be taken while handling your chemicals and all? First is every chemical should be treated as though it were dangerous. First keep in mind that uh, no no one chemical is safe, no one chemical is uh, not means good. Means they are dangerous, very dangerous. So while handling any chemicals, you should be keep in mind that it is very dangerous and you should be take care of that. Second is do not allow any solvent to come into contact with your skin. Means different solution, different solvent, that should not be contacted with your body. Third one is all chemicals should always be clearly labeled with the name of the substance, its concentration, the date it was received, and the name of the person responsible for it. Means what? For example, concentrated HCl. How much concentration? You should be right there. Concentrated HCl. How much percentage? You should write the percentage of that chemical. Means 85%, 60%, 40%, etc. Then when it is received, what will be the expiry date? You should be write all details in that bottle. Next one. Before removing any of the content from a chemical bottle, read the label twice. Means different chemicals have different directions, different precautions. So these precautions or directions should be read by you at the time of you are taking that chemical, etc. Okay, next one, never take more chemical from a bottle than you need for your work. Means if you required 1 ml any concentrated HCl, you should take that 1 ml only. Do not take 2 ml, 5 ml, etc. Okay, do not put unused chemicals back into their original container. If you required 1 ml, you are taken from bottle 2 ml, then 1 ml is remaining, then don't throw into that bottle that remaining chemicals. Okay, what happened that that chemical should be contaminated, and that will this contaminate all the uh, whole bottle of that reagent. It should be dangerous. It should be what do it impair the purity. Okay, then chemicals should never be mixed in sink drains. Means this chemical do not directly throw into the your basin or sink drains. Flammable and volatile chemicals should only be used in a fume hood. Means means those chemicals which are flammable or volatile chemicals, that should be used in fume hood. What is I think I hope you have see in the your chemistry lab fume hood, or you will see in the chemistry lab which type of fume hood they are, which type of chemicals is handled in the fume hood, like acetone, alcohol, etc. are very volatile. So that type of chemical should be handled in the fume hood. Then next one is, if a chemical spill occur, clean it up right way. Means is there in case there is a chemical spilling, so or chemical means during handling of chemicals, you are taking 1 ml, that time it will be goes out of your container, that time you should properly clean that area considering all safety parameter. Then next one is, ensure that all chemical waste is disposed of properly. After finishing your practical or experiment, means whenever chemicals is remained, that should be disposed of properly with proper guideline of that particular chemicals. Okay, first we have seen the personal protection safety rules. Okay, then what are the chemistry lab safety rules? What are the chemistry lab safety rules? Means those lab where you are performing the chemistry practicals, which are the different chemical practical like distillation, synthesis, or different. Okay, first one is, before you start an experiment, make sure you are fully aware of the hazards of the chemicals you will be using. Means if you know first when you enter the practical lab, you will receive one aim of the experiment. Today we will perform this experiment. That term, what is the requirement of chemical, what is the requirement apparatus, that term you should come to know ki, what is the chemicals we are using in today's practical, and what are the different dangerous chemicals we are using in today's practical, and what will be the precaution to be taken during handling of that chemical. It should be very mandatory for all of you, so that you should whenever you starting that practicals, you should thoroughly go through that chemical details, safety hazards, how to take precautions while get entered into the body or get contacted with that particular chemical. It should be clear for all of you. Then, what is the next rule? When refluxing or distilling or transferring volatile liquids, always exercise extreme cautions. Means what happened means in this practical, means our pharmaceutical organic chemistry second practical syllabus, we are almost most of the practicals we are performing through refluxing or distilling. So what should be taken, what should be precautions to be taken during the volatile liquids? What are the volatile liquids? Mean those liquids which are volatilized at room temperature. means at 37 degrees Celsius, most of the means those chemicals get volatilized. Means what happen for which are those? Acetone. First one is acetone, then ethanol, alcohol. All these chemicals are volatile one. So this care should be taken while replenising or distilling. What happen when in the procedure, if it is given 10 ml and uh, we, we are slowly we are adding that chemical into the RBF or that any apparatus, what will happen? That will goes out into the air, and if we required 10 ml, then it will goes into that apparatus only 9 ml. Okay, then what is the next rule? Always pour chemical from large container to smaller one. Keep in mind, means large container to smaller one. Whenever you have to pour that chemical, you should pour from large container to smaller one. Smaller one means, for example, 500 ml bottle to 10 ml measuring cylinder or 10 ml beaker. Okay, then never pour chemical that have been used up back into the stock container. Actually, this point we have already discussed. Never put the remainder chemicals into the back or original container. Okay, next one, never tap flasks that are under vacuum. Okay, those flasks are apparatus that are under vacuum, that should be not be tapped by you. Okay, next one, chemical should never be mixed, measured or heated in front of your face. Huh. It is very important safety rules while handling the chemicals. You should miss you are pouring one chemical from one reagent bottle to another beaker or measuring cylinder. You should take your face back. Don't see in like that beaker or measuring cylinder. You should be hold backside. Then what is the next? Water should not be poured into concentrated acid. Instead, pour acid slowly into water while stirring constantly. In many cases, mixing acid with water is exothermic. Miss, what is this? Miss, you don't put water directly into the acid. Miss, if you, in your beaker 10 ml is concentrated HCl is there, and you are pouring 10 ml water directly into that beaker. This should not be happen. This is very dangerous. It will cause exothermic reaction. It will cause explosion. It is very dangerous for you. So while adding into the acid into water, what should do? You should you should take beaker, and in that beaker you should take water, and you should add acid slowly at the edge of that beaker. Then this will be safety for uh, adding the acid into water. Okay, this is the some safety rules you should do whenever you performing the practical experiment, or you are handling the chemicals. Okay, you will go detail into different websites, different PDF is there, different book is there. You should read that all safety rules and perform the practicals. Okay, today we will just have had look out on that practicals. Okay, in every session, in every practical, you should be provided one questions regarding that practicals or that discussion. You should answer that questions, and this will be considered as your attendance or your presentee. So you should answer that questions to Google form or any Word document or etc. Okay.